Take it away, Janet Miller.
Hello, everybody. I'm Janet Miller from Memphis, Tennessee. And tonight you are on the Keep Punching Zoom. And this Zoom is extra special tonight, in my opinion, because one of my favorite people in the world, Kathrine Lee, is our guest speaker. And myself, Carrie and Mickey Daigle, who sponsored this Zoom, and Kathrine Lee would all like to welcome you. And we're so excited you're here. We still have people joining. So I'm going to turn it over to Mickey and let her introduce our speaker.
Well, I'm excited, and everybody that's looking on with seeing your faces on the screen just makes me smile. I think I'm smiling so much I'm going to be hurting tomorrow because it's so much fun. We love doing these. We normally do a university, Keep Punching University call, which many of you get on Monday nights, but we decided the month of August we were going to do Zooms because we wanted you to be able to get the stories and I guess get it from the heart, to really be able to see the speakers and what they're all about. And when I'm a visual person, I like to see people. I just love being able to see people and understand what's happening out there in the world. And tonight you're in for a treat. So our speaker, Kathrine Lee, you know, I have her bio in front of me and it says she's a life coach. I just can't even imagine someone being able to go through sessions with Kathrine Lee as their life coach and not coming out of this whole situation being so inspired. That would be unreal, just because I've heard her speak so many times. Kathrine is not only a life coach, she's a business strategist, a social justice advocate, and most of you on here tonight are going to know Kathrine as the 100 Club Presidential Marketing Director Plus that she is with the Juice Plus Company. That's how we all know her. But we also know that she is just the love of so many of our lives. We love to hear her speak. She inspires so many people. But I think, and I don't know, Kathrine hasn't told me this, but probably one of her most fulfilling things that she's ever done is being the founder of the Pure Hope Foundation. What is Pure Hope Foundation? I love this portion because it's a nonprofit organization dedicated to the restoration of young women that have been rescued from sex trafficking. Wow, what a rewarding type thing to do, to be able to help so many young women begin lives. And so she's their life coach. Can you imagine that, what she's done for them? So she's been tremendous in our Juice Plus company, but she's just been a helper out there in the world. She's just a servant. If you haven't gotten this yet, her book, Interrupted, I say you better get it. I have a personally autographed copy here from Kathrine that I kind of like my book. And I have to tell you, Kathrine gifted me this well, gosh, I don't know how many years ago, Kathrine, when you gave it to me, but we were on a flight on the way home and I could not put it down. I just kept reading and reading and reading. It was a perfect book to read on my way home after having been with Kathrine. So if you don't have it, you need to get it. You need to read it because you're going to enjoy, you know, understanding what Kathrine Lee's all about and why she is the giver that she is. And Kathrine, we are so honored tonight to have you on the Keep Punching University Zoom. So I'm going to ask you just to take it away.
Oh, you guys, it's so fun to be on a Zoom with Carrie and Mickey Daigle. They asked me to get on a few minutes early with Janet, and I laughed so hard in those 10 minutes waiting for you to get on. And then I didn't have to wait long, actually. I thought I was going to wait 10 minutes, and all of you guys are hopped on so early. So I am so incredibly honored to share the next few minutes with all of you. So I have no idea who all I'm talking to. I would love if you put in here, if this is a kind of first exposure, or somebody just invited you on and you're what I would be a guest. Maybe you're not even a partner with the Juice Plus company yet, but you're a guest. Will you type guest in the chat? And if you've been with the company for less than a year, will you say less than a year? Maybe you are a partner, but you've been less than a year. And then anything above that, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I just want to watch the chat for a minute to 15, 20. I want to see how long you have been with the Juice Plus company. So I know it takes a second for the chat to get rolling. but I'm seeing 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, 20 plus years, less than a year, 18, I'm assuming years, yes, almost 3, 8, less than a year. I love it. Everything from 2 to 2 years to 2 years, less than a year on that thread. So wow, I'm seeing both the longevity and the fresh newness of what it is that we do. And people always, when they hear my bio these days, they go, okay, wait, how did somebody who's a partner with a company that puts fruits and vegetables in a capsule end up in the anti-trafficking movement and restoring these young women that have been rescued from sex trafficking? And I wish I could tell you how I figured that out. If I would have known at the beginning what this business would allow me to do, because it is connected, it is not separate. It's not only connected because my husband and I get to dedicate a big portion of our time to this because of the way our Juice Plus businesses are set up, but our finances, and we're able to work for free. So that means more donor dollars to direct care. And that is something that all of us can do, right? We can give of our time, but I get to give of my time. I get to give of my coaching. And really my coaching career began with the coach of all coaches, Kathrine Daigle here. It was the first coaching session I had experienced as a coachee. And I want to tell you guys that story because I want to talk tonight about impact and the power of replicating and then fun, right? I feel like fun, I don't even have to say because you're with Carrie and Mickey, and I know many of you maybe came from other teams because they opened it up for anybody to be on. But when I first started my business, to me, fruits and vegetables in a capsule, hello, Jetson food. Any of you old enough, like not the reruns on Cartoon Network, but any of you, just put Jetsons in the chat. If you watched when they were original on a Saturday morning where you were eating your cereal while your parents were still sleeping, watch the Jetsons, right? It'll give me an idea of our, yeah, lots of Jetsons age people. Remember, it was space age food. They had the little thing that would come down, they'd press a button and poof, there'd be a pizza. Well, for me, when I saw fruits and vegetables in a capsule, I thought, okay, this is Jetson food. We always knew we would advance in society where there would be space age food in a capsule, quick convenience, concentrated, powerful food. And I was thrilled that it was fruits and vegetables in a capsule because back then I didn't like them. So to get it in a capsule, not that we recommend, right? We always want you to eat first, but what you can't, don't, or won't, which most people can't, don't, or won't, get what's recommended, do it. And I thought, I was in my early 20s. I thought everybody in the world needs this. And I was looking for a way to be home with my kids. And I thought, is this company hiring? Literally. I was like, wait, I've never heard of this in Southern California where we lived at the time. And I was looking for a way to work from home. And we had pharmaceutical reps. And I thought, well, do they have reps? Do they have a way that I can go tell other people about this? And sure enough, they were hiring, right? I could buy a franchise. I mean, for $52 to be able to buy a business in your 20s and to make your destiny was phenomenal to me. And I never expected to build a team. I was in my 20s. I just wanted to tell people. And I literally sat down and did the math. I thought, how many people do I need to get started to bridge the gap in our finances? Young mom in Southern California to be home with my kids. It isn't even a possibility for most people. If you live in an area where financially you can have one parent stay home, that's a luxury. And in Southern California, it was so expensive for me to be home with 2 kids was not even a possibility until I found this. And so I just did the math. And to me, I wanted to make $500 a month. That was as big as my dream. I actually said 300 to 500 just to be safe, because I just did. What's the math? If I made my retail sales profit, and if I could move up the ladder and make my commissions, then I would be doubling that. And I thought, how many do I need to share? Because everybody in the world that I knew was the can't, don't, or won't. And boy, if they already ate enough, I just went right past them. I was like, oh, okay, good. You're not who I need to talk to. Let me just talk to more people. Now I went back later, I learned those people probably weren't eating it too, but I just believed them. at the time. I went back later and went, wait a second, tell me about that. And do you know anyone, those people that eat super healthy? If you're a natural super healthy eater, meaning you just eat tons of fruits and vegetables every day, day in and day out, prior to Juice Plus, put that in there. Put in the chat, super eater. I want to see how many, I mean, I'm not talking about Juice Plus and after getting on Juice Plus. I'm talking prior to Juice Plus, were you a super eater? You know, you ate super good, is the way I would have said it in my early 20s. I just figured super eaters were just those rare people in Southern California, that I knew everyone else was more like me. And so I went around, I love you super eaters. I'm seeing some of it come up. I saw a nope. So it was not that. So let me ask the super eaters this. And even you all that are now super eaters because of Juice Plus, because it changed your taste buds, maybe like it did mine. I want to ask you this question. Who, I'd be fibbing, Leanne, that's funny. Who, do you know people, now you're a super eater, you eat better than most people around you is what I would call a super eater. Even if it's with Juice Plus and because of Juice Plus, how many of you right now know people that you wished ate better than they do because you care about them? Just say yes. If you already eat well, yes, of course, absolutely. Yeah, we all, the more you know about healthy eating, the more you can't help but tell people. And that doesn't mean, you know, you can be a heathen to the vegan in this company. And I love to say I'm a vegan until noon, right? Because of the Juice Plus company, I can be a vegan until noon every single day of my life. And then you might find me anywhere on the spectrum from heathen to vegan. But I knew everyone needed this. And making $500 a month, I could do the math, add up the customers. Every 4 months, they were going to get another shipment. So I could start layering the money, layering the paychecks, because now 4 months later, people are reordering, but I'm adding new, and I could project my income. It's one of the most powerful things that you can do as an entrepreneur is to be able to project income, which means you have to minus your overhead, which we hardly have any of in our franchise because it's virtual. But I was able to project my income with how many customers I could get, that I could partner them with the company and make that connection. And so I started doing that. And then I ran into this man, Kerry Daigle, and I had doubled my dream. Anybody remember what my dream was? What was the top end of my financial dream? Type it in the chat. I want to see, yep. Man, Leela, you are on top of it. You guys are fast and you all remembered. So if I doubled my dream, what is that? $1,000. And I still to this day celebrate, I call it the Comma Club. And in our team, when somebody breaks that barrier and they're making $1,000 a month, we celebrate it. Because for me, that was doubling my dream. And of course, I was thrilled. And then I run into Kerry Daigle, my first coaching session, where I was a coachee. I didn't realize it was a coaching session. You know, Kerry will sneak up on you like that. And he said, he was talking to me and he's like, you're so dynamic. You know, if you ever need an ego boost, be around Kerry Daigle. If you ever need a kick in the pants, be around Kerry Daigle too. And if you want some love and nurturing and strategy, go to Mickey. But Kerry said to me, you're so dynamic. You're so this, you're so that. Why aren't you going for NMD? At the time, that was the top of the company. And if you don't know what that is, if you're newer, it's just the top end of our company and the pay plan. And I really didn't have an answer to that. I kind of stumbled around. And when he realized, oh, you just haven't done the business education yet. You don't understand our business model. And he just kind of said, oh, I understand. He goes, will you do something for me? Would you be open to generating more income, helping more people? I said, well, of course. He was like, kind of, do you want to double your double dream? And I was like, $2,000 a month. Remember, I was in my early 20s to stay home, work for myself, have, back then we called it mailbox money. Now it's just direct deposit money. Just to have care for people, see who else was intrigued by fruits and vegetables in a capsule and Jetson food. Of course, if I could do more. And he said, that comes with building a team, but you're never going to build a team until you understand the power of this business system. And he said, most business people don't start a business till they understand the system. What's cool about our business is you can start and you can make money and you can double your dream. But if you want to impact more and double the double, right? Read this book. And he asked me if I would read a book. And I said, sure. And he said, well, wait, will you read the book and report back to me what you learned? And little did I know that's motivational coaching. He was testing my accountability and my follow through. And I said, yes, sir. Right. I'm in my young 20s. This dynamic man is asking me and pouring his time and energy and enthusiasm and his words, encouragement into me. That's coaching. And I said, yes. See, a coach knows that they don't have to follow through. The other person does. He just passed the ball to me. But he wanted to open the door for me to pass the ball back to him, meaning to come and tell him what I learned. And I understood more about the business system. And what's amazing about that is that made me realize, wait, I can replicate. All I have to do is teach people what I've done and then tell them what Carrie told me to do, right? All I have to do is do whatever somebody tells me to do. Up until that time, Wendy Campbell, who was a sales coordinator at the time I came into the business. Of course, now she's, if you've been in our community long enough, all you have to say is Wendy Campbell. And she is phenomenally, wildly successful. And she was building and learning her business as she was moving along, and she told me what to do. And I would do those steps. Then Carrie came and he told me what to do. And then all of a sudden it hit me. All I have to do is do what somebody tells me to do. The company and the system work. Eventually there's somebody that's going to say yes, that needs the product or wants to leverage income and have multiple streams of income or an alternate form of income. Don't like your job, right? I didn't want to leave my kids. Some of you don't like your job. Some of you want to have some fun money. Dr. Sears, Bill Sears, who's in our team and organization, always says, just tell people about it. Fund your fun. Just fund your fun. Because he loves to work with retirees. He likes to help moms stay home with their kids because he's a pediatrician, and he likes to help people that are in the encore of their life generate options and fun for them, have purpose. And so here I was. I did double the dream, and then that doubled, and it went on. And I just will right now tie the answer to what about that? How does fruits and vegetables in a castle have anything to do with sex trafficking and coming against that horrific atrocity? As I generated more income than I ever could have dreamed that I could do with, and I traveled, and I remember the first time I booked a first class trip to Hawaii with my kids, and it was my mom's dream to go there, so I booked her to go. And I remember sitting on the beach, and I wrote in my journal, why am I here? I mean, it's beautiful, but I live in Southern California on a beach. I go, I guess this is what successful people do. But then I really thought, what does success mean to me? And success, yes, it was beautiful. I would never change that trip for the world. I mean, my daughter swam with a sea turtle, popped up right in front of her as we were in the Molokini volcano, where it had sunk, and we were swimming in that area of the ocean. And I mean, it was beautiful. But honestly, my definition of success was to help someone else. And I realized that I was doing that with my team, because my teams were having their initial dream and meeting them and then doubling their dream and then having maybe a comma party, celebrating the comma in their paycheck. But really, for me, success equaled impact. I don't want to be famous, but I do want to have influence and do something good and lasting in this world. That to me is legacy. It's living beyond yourself on behalf of someone else. And when you have money, you can do that. When you have a resource like Juice Plus, you can live beyond yourself, your fear, what will other people think of me? Oh, I'm not a salesperson. Think beyond yourself on behalf of someone else. Someone needs you, and someone needs this product, and someone needs this income right now. Now more than ever, people understand the value of an extra $300 to $500 a month, because the economic climate has changed, where their bills are just that. Nothing, they haven't changed their spending patterns. They haven't personally upgraded. It's just things are costing more. And that they are realizing the power of a dollar, much less 300 to 500 squeeze. They call it the squeeze. Most divorces happen over financial challenges, and most of the financial challenges would be solved by $500 a month. We can all do the math, project the income to help someone do that. Well, we had done that. I went, oh my gosh, I replicated the model. I coached like Carrie coached. I just challenged people and asked if they wanted to play. And if they wanted to play, come back and tell me how it went. And I could either celebrate with them, or we could course correct, or I could speak life into them. And then I had a crazy encounter with a guy on a plane. If any of you have heard the story, just put airplane in the chat. I'm curious how many of you have read Interrupted and know what I'm talking about. But I had this crazy encounter with a guy on a plane that hit me what I was to do with my influence and my impact, because I had had the privilege of doing some really cool media stuff that gave me more impact over the years. And all the while, with our paycheck from Juice Plus, with our influence, I just kept going, Michael and I, my husband, like, you did this, God, what do you want to do with it? And then I had this crazy encounter with the guy on the plane. I'm seeing airplane. So you guys know what I'm talking about. I hope you'll read Interrupted, not for me, but for the benefit of what that book will do to have you believe in miracles, believe in that you can make an impact. My Juice Plus story in detail is in there. A few powerful encounters with leaders like Deanna Christofferson and Dawn Rathman that just, I didn't wake up that day knowing I was going to meet those power players. But I was following my heart to help people, and they crossed my path. So with the success, I was like, okay, this encounter on the plane, I knew, I started researching and learned about this issue of trafficking. And my husband and I were able to make the decision to put our house in Southern California. We had been blessed, had a beautiful home, put it on the market and move to wherever we felt like we were supposed to be. And again, that's a radical story of how we ended up in Texas. It's no coincidence that my husband's a Texan and had probably been praying for years that we would move back to Texas. But we have an incredible place now that actually Juice Plus teams come and visit all the time, called Pure Hope Ranch, and have teen retreats. And they get to come tour our Hope Home, the place where we have these young women that have been rescued and or were brave enough to run from the issue of trafficking. And we give them a safe place to restore their lives back to what they were meant to be before they were ever trafficked. And the power of nutrition in their healing, the power of the Tower Garden and them growing their own food, the power of your teams coming and loving on them and giving them safe community while they're working their jobs. We teach them job skills and they're saving money so that they can be out on their own while we're helping them heal from the horrific trauma that they've been through. But they get dignity and safe community. And you know what's crazy is that's what I got in this Juice Plus business too. Like, I could cry. I got dignity in a safe community. And it happened to generate income. And I got mentors like Carrie and Mickey Daigle. And I got to work with power people like Bob and Deanna and Wendy and Dawn and many, many, many others that I know some of you are on today that are part of those teams. And dear quiet leaders like Bernadette Chavez, another one of my NMDs that maybe none of you have heard of, but she is strong and powerful. And I learn from her every day. And when I think of dignity and community for healing, that then brings possibility and dreams. There's nothing more that I could ever give anyone. I could hand somebody $1 or I could hand them dignity and community, and the dollars will come. The dollars will follow. And what's so cool, I'll close with this story. Some of you may have heard it, but I'll never forget. We had a young woman. She was gone from the Hope Home and living life. And she saw that I was going to be speaking in the Houston area. And she messaged me and said, Mama Kathrine, I saw this flyer that you're going to be speaking. I live 5 minutes from that venue. Can I come? And I said, well, sure, honey, but it is a Juice Plus, like it's a meeting. And she doesn't even know, like they don't have any clue my role in the Juice Plus world. They know a lot of Juice Plus people come visit me, but they don't have any clue, right? They see me as Kathrine with Pure Hope Foundation and doing life coaching and all the things there. So she didn't understand that world. So she comes and I said, I will be talking about my dreams and desires and legacy, and legacy is Pure Hope Foundation. And so I will be talking about, you know, how this business allowed me to do that. She said, no, that's fine, I'll come. Well, I spoke, and then she raises her hand at the end and says, can I say something? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this is happening. And she stood up and she said, I am one of those girls. And you guys don't realize, but when you come, you will, how many other Juice Plus reps and partners have given to this vision and ministry. I always say this is the nonprofit that Juice Plus partnerships, all the reps, all of us built, and it's not a corporate sponsored, it's the field that followed the story that comes and has a team retreat, sees what we're doing, and they want to give and do and be a part of the legacy. And so this girl stands up and says, I'm one of those girls, and I just want to say thank you and tell what a difference this has made. And she was tearful, and the whole crowd started crying because she shared some more. And then when it was over, she came and said to me something I'll never forget. And I really want you to hold on to this, because there were 3 distinct times I almost quit my Juice Plus franchise. Not because there was anything wrong with it, but because it was almost such a blessing. I didn't know how to handle and receive that much greatness. I didn't know how to grow into the next phase of what this business could do for me. But I didn't quit, and I pressed on. And then there I am with this young girl. And she says, do you, Mama Kathrine, I realized tonight that you started this business before I was even born. So the provision was there for me to heal when I needed it. Now think about that for a minute, you guys. Someone is waiting for you to be brave. Someone's waiting for you to not quit. You don't know what fruits and vegetables in a capsule are going to lead you to do and who they're going to lead you to impact. I just want to say thank you, because you know what? You showed up, and that is the key in this business, is show up and invite somebody else to show up. And then let the community do the work for you. And we all walk away from an encounter with each other with greater dignity and knowing that we're not alone. And I couldn't think of anything better to do than be a part of something like that. So Carrie, Mickey, Janet, thank you for hosting. Carrie, thank you for seeing something in me back then that you invested your time and challenging me. And Mickey, thank you for the dignity, the tour that you did around women and the whole thing that you did around the D's. Do you remember that? She does this phenomenal talk on specifically for the big things that hit our lives, debt and divorce and death, and things that we don't always prepare for, but we also don't always prepare for our dreams. And what I can tell you is this company will prepare you for those travesties, those terrible things, but it will also equip you to live your dreams. So thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to share my journey with you, and to thank you publicly in front of all these people for your role in what we're doing here in Texas. Thank you guys for investing tonight.
Thank you, Kathrine. That was just beautiful. And I know that all of you are just like me. I have chills, and I know Kathrine's story. I know where her heart is, but every time I hear her speak, it just gives me chills, because I know the work that she's doing out there. I know the work that we're all doing out there. So we just got to keep it all up. Carrie says she brought it up so many times. I know between you and Kathrine, do y'all remember the book? Because they're asking, what was the book?
Yeah. So back then, I think it was called like Who's on First. It was basically a book about the power of this business system. But now it's actually all been said in Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is really what the messaging was. Robert has done it so eloquently. So actually when he wrote that, Carrie said, now start recommending this book because he says it even better. So it's phenomenal. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then Robert Kiyosaki also has an additional book specifically on the power of network marketing as well. Yeah,
Well,
good
thank you.
question.
Yeah, they were wondering that, they want to know what's the answer? What's the key?
Yeah.
Karen, want to close it up for us?
What'd you say?
I tell Karen
Oh, Carrie.
Oh, okay. You were asking me. Yeah. All I want to say is, look, Kathrine was so easy to work with, but we appreciate you, Kathrine, so very much. I'm looking at all the smiles right now and everyone that's online and what we picked up and the things we learned. And I'll tell you, you have not only became a great student, you became the teacher of teachers. And everyone that's listening in, you need to follow Kathrine and what she does, because I guarantee you, you're going to learn a whole lot. And just stay in touch with her, see what she's doing on social media. I guarantee you one thing, I know one thing, my life has changed just being part of Kathrine's life. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Keep punching.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Kathrine. We love you.
Bye-bye. My honor. Love you guys. Bye-bye.